Well, hello.
You always do the bite the lip thing, right? Mm.
Oh, that is like yeah, that's like white boy dancing.
Yeah, I'm a white boy. Mm.
Yeah. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing to say, white boy dancing. Like use that. Well, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Steph.
Hi, Dr. Jay-Z.
What's happening?
Everything's happening all at once, infinitely.
You know what? You're absolutely right. Everything is happening.
Everything is happening.
Everything that we perceive has ever happened or we perceive could ever happen. It's all happening right now.
It's all already happened. It is happening.
There is no time in the infinite mind.
There is no time. No. Here we sit in this field of existence as the illusion. We are a reflection and emanation of that which is behind everything.
Yes.
And so I'm grateful. This is how I show up. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So this is the RANT, Radically Affirmative New Thought, where we are called upon. I don't know. This is a calling within you and me, right?
Yeah.
It's a calling within you and me to like just get together and have these conversations on a regular basis and do so publicly because we think there might be benefit. Well, there's benefit for me. I don't know if there's benefit to anybody else watching, but there's benefit for me because I always am illuminated. I learn something and get to make practical something that has a spiritual point of view. And so that's what I'm all about.
Yeah. I'm all about that. Dive deeper, contemplate, think, chew on, dig in, lean in. Oh, it's so good in the mind of the divine. It's so good. Why wouldn't we want to be all up in here?
Right?
Yeah. Get to know yourself and you will know spirit. Get to know spirit and you will know yourself because there's only one.
There is only one infinite power and presence, one wholeness, one creative source, one quantum field of infinite possibility. And we are the observers, allowing that quantum field to collapse, that quantum wave to collapse into actual expression.
Yeah.
And we have the power to do, be, and have anything we want to do, be, and have in our lives because we are that quantum field expressed.
Yeah, we are that. We are that. The inlet and the outlet, right? Because the good is already everywhere, always, right? The magnificence and good and joy and peace, all of it, infinitely is already present.
Yes.
And this human experience, this beautiful little tiny human experience gets to like feel that.
Right.
Right? We get to be the flow of that. And it's magnificent. And sometimes we forget and sometimes we're like in rough waters and sometimes there's times it's like, oh, this is easy.
There are times
I'm adulting like a champion over here.
You know, I think the other thing too, one of the things I always say, speaking of easy and hard, I often say, and many people in my community will resonate with this if you're watching. I always say this philosophy is work.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be toil. The work can be joyful and easeful and it can be a journey of harmony and fun, you know.
Well, it's like in the program, right? We know what the program is. It works if you work it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you think it's not working, it's simply because you aren't doing the activity that allows you to have the outcome that you desire. That it's always working, right?
If you think it's not working, you're right.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But you've created the circumstances for it not to work. So,
yeah.
So this is Radically Affirmative New Thought, the RANT.
Yeah.
What we do.
Start hot. Yeah.
I'm Dr.
Hi,
Jonathan
everybody.
Zenz. I'm Dr. Jonathan Zenz. I'm the senior minister at Unity of Tucson. I think it's always good that we introduce ourselves because we don't know who might be new. Unity of Tucson is an inclusive and loving spiritual center in Tucson, Arizona, where we join together to explore the principles of the New Thought spiritual philosophy. And what I have found is that the exploration and the adoption of those principles in my life has allowed me to find personal purpose, develop a spiritual path, and work on mastering spiritual understanding. And that has enhanced the quality of my life. And so that's why I do what I do.
And that's why you shine how you shine.
Yeah. How about you, St. Steph?
Yeah, St. Steph, Rev Steph, Rev. You can call me lots of things, but don't call me late to dinner. That's my dad's line right there.
Such a dad joke.
That's a dad joke, I know. And I am the blessed, absolutely blessed spiritual director with One Love Awakening, an online virtual community that that comes together to contemplate and conspire with the universe for our highest and greatest good.
Love.
And I just keep doing keep shortening it, elevator speech.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's the same for me. The One Love Awakening started because, first it was COVID and I was in between ministries. in between ministries. And I in a sense, and I wanted some direction in my life. I love it. And what I love is community. What I love is having these kinds of conversations with other people. I have them inside my mind 24/7, but I love having them with other people and hearing other perspectives and being in the wisdom of the room. And so One Love just is this safe container for these kinds of conversations, in the classes that we teach and the opportunities to connect that we have. It's all about living our best life. And I think that's a team effort.
It is. Ooh, I've got a little feedback happening. I hear myself.
I'm sorry. I was just super close to the mic too. I was like,
that's okay.
I was like all in there.
Well, I get all in on my microphone sometimes too. Let's say hello to people who are logging in. I want to say hello to Beryl. Good morning, magnificent ranters. I come to you live from Beryl's house and
Hi,
prosperity.
Beryl.
Yes, indeed.
House and prosperity. Yes.
Actually, she adjusted it. House of joy and prosperity.
House of joy and prosperity. I love it.
Yes. Violet. Hi, Wayne. Nice to see you this glorious day. Good morning to Anita.
Hi, Anita.
Anita with her sunshine and cactus. Because she's where I am. She's where I am.
She's in Arizona.
Yes, we are the flow. Maureen, grateful to see you this magnificent day. Lillian, hello, shining stars. Nice to see you.
Hi, Lillian. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So if any of you all have something to rant about, we'd love to. But as you can see, we can find anything.
Oh, you should hear it. So Steph and I, usually we have a chat for about a half hour before we go live. And we kind of come down to the last couple. I'm just like, well, what are we going to rant about today? And we know that there's always going to be something that expresses, that is brought to the conversation. But boy, what did we start talking about in the last 3 minutes before we went live?
In the last 3 minutes. Well, it was about fear. For sure. Because there's a lot of fear happening in the world right now. There's a lot of circumstances that are out of our control, and that's where fear comes from, right? We fear things that we have no control over.
You just said something though, right? There are circumstances out of our control. But here's my question to you, because here's a new thought idea that I think is really important that we deepen into understanding. What can we control in the experience of circumstances we can't control?
Well, for me, it's always the interior, right? I have an awareness, and in my awareness of myself, and I don't even like the word control might be a little hard or harsh for people, right? Because there's terms like control freak. Or there is circumstances in our lives that control has been an external, and I have been a control freak and a perfectionist, and felt like I needed to be in control of everything and everyone, and therefore I was not only suffering in my own life, but I was also causing suffering. And so what I can control control is my own presence, my own awareness, and my circulation of who I am in this life, like being myself, being authentic and being true to myself. That's pretty much it. And so I was saying on Wake Up Today, like that what I can control is how often I pray.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can control that in a sense, and needing to have tools and systems and processes in place to get back to that place of center.
Right.
Because we have the ability to be in control of that, to have authority over how we express in the world.
Right. Well, you hit upon it, and you actually kind of tweaked my mind a little bit in terms of how I usually talk about this. So first of all, the way I usually respond to that kind of question. So in the midst of circumstances that are out of our control, what do we have control over? For me, there's one word that kind of encompasses what you were just talking about, and that is I can control my relationship to the circumstances. My inner relationship to the circumstances is my experience. And so the circumstances may be out of my control, and my relationship to those circumstances is entirely within my control. The other thing is, and I'm going somewhere with this.
Always.
So I think that frequently we, especially in New Thought, if you're new to the New Thought philosophy, where the first part of the teaching that we usually offer is this, because it's the catchphrase that kind of launched New Thought: change your thinking, change your life, right? Yeah. Change your thinking, change your life. And oftentimes what people take that to mean is, oh, if I change my thinking, then I can manipulate the circumstances of my experience, right? And that is getting into coercion of the circumstances. Mm-hmm. It is like trying to strong arm something into happening out there, forgetting that it all is an inside job. It is an inside job, absolutely. But what the alternative to that feels like to me is that circumstances that seem to be out of our control, if we are not allowing ourselves to address our relationship to those circumstances, then those circumstances are actually coercing us. Those circumstances are still expressions of the divine, but they are coercing us into a way of being. And I never really thought about it from that perspective before. I don't know what this hand movement is. It's that opposite thing, right? But looking at it from that perspective, I'm like, oh, if I'm not in charge of my relationship to the circumstances, then the circumstances are in charge of me. Call. It is a call, and I don't desire to have the circumstances be in control of me. So what can I do? That's a question I ask myself all the time. What can I do? What is possible in this? Not feeling defeated and I can't do anything about it, right? Absolutely not.
Yeah, right. We just have to keep remembering who we are. That's our only job, y'all. Just keep remembering who you are. And our work is releasing, letting go, and surrendering all the stuff that other people put on us, place on us, think about us. What other people think of me is none of my business. And thank God for that. Because that's their business. It's their toxicity, it's their body that's feeling that, and I don't need to take anything on myself, right? So remember who you are, and that there's this infinite power plugged into you.
Yes.
Charging up, expressing as, it's amazing. And so that because I do have triggers. I get triggers. They they were installed long ago, and it's from my experiences. I've been in abusive relationships. I've been in relationships where my freedom was taken from me, or I was being controlled and manipulated, and and things like that. And so I love being evidence that things can change.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And you coming back to who you are, remembering who you are, that is huge, because if you don't know who you are and you aren't willing to find that out, you will be what everybody else wants you to be.
Right.
So that's giving away your power, giving away your control, giving away your authority.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody deserves better.
And I like to say that we have, each and every one of us, let us take this to heart, that we are absolutely in control of our experience. We are the authorities of our experience. It is our DNA, our divine natural authority. That's our DNA.
Writing this down, divine.
Yeah. I want to acknowledge some of these comments.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Beryl, our personal perspective can be one of suffering or freedom through knowing our thoughts control the perspective, right? Our thoughts control the perspective. And here's the thing about that I really took to heart in the New Thought experience. As I change my relationship, as I change my conscious relationship to the circumstances I am experiencing, the circumstances that have been cannot maintain themselves in my experience any longer. And so tacitly, the circumstances are changing. They have to change. They cannot maintain themselves. And so that's actually something that I have found to be very powerful in my life. So yeah, our thoughts, the consciousness, the way we relate in consciousness to the circumstances are going to align themselves in alignment with what we are thinking, feeling. That's how we control our circumstances, right?
Yeah.
Lillian, Spirit told me that I was praying from lack mentality. That's a great realization. I had to realize that what I'm praying for is already here. Absolutely. I now pray for the activation of peace and love and whatever I'm asking for. That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Yes.
And it is, the practice, the spiritual practice of affirmative prayer treatment is what I call it, because we have different ways, language in different movements of New Thought. I've kind of combined all of them together. Affirmative prayer treatment.
Affirmative prayer treatment. Yep.
I am apt through affirmative prayer treatment to bring good into my life.
Ooh, yes.
The part of the point of view of affirmative prayer treatment is to speak from the point of view of the divine, which is who and what we are, and to not supplicate ourselves and ask for anything. If we're asking for something, then it is probably from a consciousness of lack, because we don't have it.
Yeah, we feel that we don't have what it is we're asking for, and we create that separation from it when it is right here, right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Our good, our peace, our love, it's right here, right? It's right here. And oh my goodness, that's my apt for everyone, is that we find that place within ourselves that is strong, confident, and faithful.
Yes.
Yeah. Love it, Lillian. Love it.
Yeah, thank you, Lillian. Anita, but aren't we always in charge of our relationship with the circumstances, even if we're unaware of it and are creating a response we don't want? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you know me, Anita, you know that one of the things I say is the most powerful thing we can do is to open up our awareness. That a lot of this work in New Thought is to bring to the level of awareness that which is operating below the level of awareness, because when we bring it to our awareness, then we are empowered to actually act upon it. We can't actively act upon anything about which we are unaware. So that's a lot of the work that we're doing. And then people, well, how do I know what I'm thinking? How do I know? And my answer is so trite anymore. But it is the answer. Look at your life. What is your life? Like, what are the circumstances of your life? Because all of that is the outflow of something within. And so if something doesn't feel quite right in your life, you're the one who's in charge of addressing your relationship to it, changing the consciousness around it, and then you can move forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I say that, I'm like, what are the things in my life that don't feel so good right now? And
Well, no,
what
I was just thinking, like, we're talking about relationship too, right? So
Yeah.
like look around at the people in our lives. This is one of those leadership things, right? If
Mhm.
you look at the 5 most important people in your life, and if they're not pulling you forward, they're probably holding you back, because you're, where are you in relation to these people,
Yeah.
and how they relate to the world in general too, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry.
So yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm a little like lost in my own thought now of like, what are the things that I am not enjoying in my life right now?
Oh, I'm working on something big.
Yeah.
What do you got going on?
I was about to ask you. Well, you just said I'm working on something big. Do
Yeah.
tell.
In relation to others, like I am not, I have had the experiences I've had in relationship with people, and it not all of my the abuse I have felt in my life has been through romantic partners. It's also been just poor leadership, right? Poor leadership, or unskilled people in my life who have roles that I believe should be operating in more skillful ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so in relation, like it's all for me. Like when I come to this place of, oh, I'm just here, like I see this experience happening in my life. I'm this this beloved angel and teacher in my life is exactly that, and I just keep returning to, no matter if I'm finding difficulty or struggle in relation to this beautiful beloved, it's how I perceive. It has nothing to do with how they communicate with me or how they present themselves. For me, it's how in my life, my values, my ethical standards, my experience is to return to love and to live above the line in conscious leadership. And I have that say. So I don't have time, energy for like in my life is precious. Life is so very precious, and I do not have time in my life to give away my happiness or my peace or my sense of self for someone else's growth or expansion and whatever it is. I get to be mindful and return to who I am in everything that I do. And so I just find, even in these circumstances, what is mine here. What are my life objectives? What are who am I? I'm not going to give myself away to I don't even know how to articulate this at this moment, but
Well, can I just do you mind if I hop in?
Yeah, hop in, coach away.
Well, I don't know that I'm coaching you, but you've opened up an awareness in me of
Mhm.
something that is a tendency within me that I think I've known as a tendency, but I also kind of, shove it to the side, that it is not perhaps a great and supportive tendency in my life. I am getting to the point, I promise. I am going to talk about it specifically, but I'm going to preface it by saying, on this week in particular, Monday came off of what was a very, very, very full weekend. A Saturday, I started teaching a class that led into a whole day of work, because I was entertaining at my house. I had family in from out of town, and so it was like a whole day of entertaining them at that point. And then, once that was complete at our place, then we, Dane and I, my husband and I, we, pull ourselves together. I tried to get to bed at a reasonable hour on Saturday night. I get up on Sunday morning at, 4:30 is when I get up on Sunday morning to prepare for myself. to prepare myself for my service, right? So I got up, do the whole service. And then we had a board meeting after service. And after that board meeting, then we had a joint board meeting between Unity of Tucson and Center for Spiritual Living Tucson, because it's no secret now, we're in negotiations. This is public knowledge. We're in negotiations about sharing the physical space as independent communities. And what does that look like? And how do we make that work? And then I was here talking to Reverend Ronnie Tretzman, who's the senior minister at CSL Tucson. I didn't leave my office until like 4 o'clock. I got home, and then it's like I'm launching into dinner and doing all the things that I have to do and that I am grateful to do at home. And then I get up on Monday morning, and it's like I keep churning out. I got to 4 o'clock Monday afternoon knowing that I had been working nonstop, and 4 o'clock on Monday afternoon, I was thinking ahead of like, I've got a class that is supposed to start at 6 p.m. It is a class that lasts 3 hours. It's a 3-hour class meeting. Wow. And I just was like, I'm done. I am so burnt out. Yeah. And I need to do something about this for myself. I need to take care of myself. So I reached out to all the students. I said, listen, I'm postponing class tonight. So that was the good news. I did something that was for myself. I have been toying with an idea. This is where I'm getting. I know it was a long thing, because I've been sitting with this. Why am I pushing myself to the point of burnout so frequently in my life? Why do I keep doing that? And the New Thought teaching is that I'm in charge of my experience. And so if I'm pushing myself to burnout, it's up to no one else to address that for me. But I realized something just in the last 10 minutes as we were talking, Steph. And that is, I have a tacit belief that if I sacrifice of myself in service to my community, that I'm doing good in the world. And so there's a thing that I've been sitting on and thinking about that I have been wanting to let go of for a long time, and I've not been willing to actually take the initiative to let it go.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a shock to some people, but that thing is actually the mindful moment.
I knew it.
And it's not that I don't love the experience of that spiritual practice, but I am in a place now where I feel obligated to my community more than it is a benefit to the community. That makes sense?
For sure, yeah.
And so the more I keep doing it, am I going to deepen into a resentment for feeling like I have to do it? Yeah. Which then that doesn't serve anybody. Feelings of resentment don't serve anybody.
Don't serve anyone. Yeah. And that inside your body too, right? Mm-hmm. Resentment. Like we know, and consciousness is energy. Energy is everything.
Yeah.
There is nothing still in this world.
Right.
And so that energy of obligation, resentment, it's in the body. It's in our muscles. It's in our nerves endings and shooting out towards us whenever we feel something unlike what it is we're looking for.
Yeah.
And so.
And let's face it too. I've toyed with this before. There have been times when I've been like, I need to be done with the mindful moment. Let's face it. I went for almost 3 months last year not doing it because I was on sabbatical.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I look at those things and I think, and then I picked it up again because I was like, there's that feeling, sort of a sense of feeling of obligation.
Yeah. I've sensed that with like year 5 of Wake Up, Say Thank You. I'm like, why am I still doing this? It's like, I felt almost resentment getting to like I would be in a cruddy space. And then for the 5 minutes before it, and then I would do it. And then I'd be like, oh, that was great. Right. Yeah. And it's, so I took some time to really like think about and contemplate the why behind. I would do Wake Up, Say Thank You. And I took some time off, and now we're in season 8 now. Right. So it has been, but I did get to that place where I'm actually doing it for me because consistent
Right.
spiritual practice in my life.
Well, that's the thing. When it slipped away from me demonstrating my spiritual practice publicly for me to being an obligation to my community, that's when it slipped into something else.
Yeah.
And so I'm making the decision right here and right now. I was not going to be on the Mindful Moment next week anyway, because I'm going to the Unity Southwest Region Conference, but I think the Mindful Moment is complete. And I don't think I'm coming back to it. And I'm just going to put word out there. I'm complete with the Mindful Moment. It is so. And frankly, like,
good.
it does. It feels freeing.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing, like, this is not the case with the rant, because I freaking love this interaction.
Of course. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's new and fresh, right? We're not even done season 1 yet.
Right. We haven't done, like, how long have we been doing this? A few months?
A few months. Yeah. A few months.
All right.
Yeah. Beryl's giving you a shout out here.
Yay. I'm putting it up. There we go. Hallelujah. And so it is. Amen.
Freedom.
Yes. And the thing is, I then like get this little catch where I'm like, oh, there are going to be some disappointed people.
Yeah.
And I don't want to
okay.
disappoint
That's okay.
people, right? That's the thing. Like, I don't want to disappoint people, but I have to. Here's the thing. It is a demonstration of self-care. It is a demonstration of self-respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I posted, I do Facebook, for One Love and that kind of thing, but I'm not sitting on my profile going all the time at it.
Right.
And I'll preface that by saying anymore.
Right.
So I posted something yesterday on my personal thing, and I was just like, today I'm listening to my ego and doing the opposite of what it says. It is so freeing, because it's my ego that wants to respond to that beloved teacher in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's my ego that wants to respond. It's my the storyteller within. This is how I'm seen. I'll show you that. Oh no. No.
Yeah.
I am loving presence. I am consciousness. I am the beloved. And so is this beautiful teacher in my life. And right. So when I am spinning in the stuff that makes me feel unloving, unkind, unsupportive, or feeling unlovable, that I'm not feeling those things too. That's separation. And I'm guarantee you, I'm listening to that ego, the smallness of my ego, not the giantness of my ego that knows I am God, but the smallness of my ego that thinks I'm not.
Right. It is the difference in ego between edging God out and entertaining God only.
Entertaining God only. Yes. Yeah. There's, I always hear this line in Dr. Ken Gordon's voice. There is God and absolutely nothing else. And I'm like, that's that. Like the first time I heard him say that, and he says it at the beginning of every prayer. But the first time I heard him say it, I was like, dang.
That's pretty clear.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And that's my inspiration, right? I want to have that level of faith.
Yeah.
And just unwavering, unshakable faith that there is God and absolutely nothing else. And even those people who are bumping up against me are simply just polishing down all the rough spots where I still need to polish.
Yeah. Yeah.
God bless them. God bless all the people brave enough to stand up to me.
So I just want to acknowledge and say thank you to everybody who's reaching out right now and saying, like Mirta admiring the decision. Thank you. And Anita, thank you for this reminder. It is a choice for people in the community to feel upset with me taking care of myself. And I don't want to put into the language of blame, but we are responsible to our relationship to the circumstances. Isn't that where we started today?
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Radically affirmative new thought. And this is what I love about being radical, because my One Love Awakening is co-creating a radically spiritual life. Like it's a radical spiritual life. Taking care of yourself first is radical. Praying with other people or like calling someone up and saying, can I pray for you? That's radical. Right? Being in a place of joy in the midst of chaos, that is radical.
Yeah.
And that's where I want to be. Radically accepting of our unique and unrepeatable expression as a reflection of that which is divine.
Right. Right. You know, I just kind of had that moment where I went, also, this is the other thing that came up for me. So, so here's the other thing. In my now decision to release the mindful moment, what am I now opening? And this goes in relationship with my community. What am I now opening up to in my life that I can create that will be of greater service to my community than the mindful moment was?
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing. Like, we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah.
And so by releasing that, I think I have opened up the divine circuits to something new to express itself. And I'm excited about what this may, I'm excited for how this may.
Who said it? God abhors a vacuum?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there is no space for unlimitedness.
Right.
Because it's infinite. It's infinite. There's no space for unlimited. For limited things.
Yeah. I struggle with sacrificing myself as well. I mean, that's basically what we're talking about, right? I keep an eye on my emotions. I have grands all the time, but I'm loving my life and I don't seem to have a life outside of babies.
Yeah. Yeah. Lillian takes care of her grandbabies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, self-care is first.
Yeah. And
always.
You know, I often have struggled in my experience with boundaries. And self-care and putting ourselves first, that is a core boundary that should be installed before kindergarten. You know, like we really should be teaching our children and ourselves how to have healthy, safe, and appropriate boundaries. And that includes ourselves. I love, I use this all the time to demonstrate the importance of this, is like the flight attendant, right? We're told when we get on a flight where there is very limited probability of anything, of this mask ever coming down for you, right? That's it's improbable at this state of technology, but it comes down. And we aren't told to put everybody else's on first. We're told to put yours on first, and then your children.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's a lesson that I just take into so much of my experience, and I forget that I am to put this on first. And there's so many people wanting things from me that I'm like, I don't even know you. What are you doing? And so here's my boundary. Here's my expectations about how I'm going to move forward. If you're with me, great. If you're not, it's been nice chatting with you. Right. And it's so difficult. It, like, that's been a challenge. And it's a challenge for so many of us that we put ourselves last. There's books. There's a book called Leaders Eat Last.
Yeah.
Right. There's a book titled that. I haven't read the book because I don't want to eat last. I need to be full and filled so that I can help fill other people's plates. I don't need to eat last. We need to maybe eat in separate rooms, if that, maybe, make sure, because I have dietary restrictions. I don't know what you're bringing to this potluck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So boundaries is a huge thing. Self-care. That's what we have to circle back. This is what we can control.
Right.
And being in relationship with other people it can be difficult because we're not all on the same path, and we're not all even in the same book. We're all doing the best that we can.
Yeah.
And God bless every single one of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 I just keep sitting here thinking, what's new and exciting? What is
What's
new and exciting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find like every day I learn something about myself. That's a good day.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then that's every day.
It's every day.
I would assume. I mean, I learn something new about myself every single day.
I do. Yeah.
Am I able to articulate what that learning is every single day? Maybe not, but I do learn something new about myself every single day.
Yeah. 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 I love my strength, my confidence, my my resiliency.
Mm-hmm.
It would be so, for my personality type and who I am, it would be so easy for me to just go up a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Go up a mountain, do some meditation, do some prayer, eat the berries I find.
And there's value to that kind of experience.
It would be so easy. But the voice of the divine within me is like, you're a teacher. You're supposed to be down with people and talking down with people. We're supposed to be, teaching that you can think for yourself, and that you're one with this infinite presence, and that you can have everything you want in your life because you are absolutely magnificent. I was told at 10 years old by God that was what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And but oh my goodness, when I am triggered, my first response really is, I'm gonna go play some video games and shut off the world until I can find myself again, because I don't want to go bleeding all over everybody.
Right. My escape now, my desired escape ever since I did it, is to go walk, walking the Camino. I think about the Camino. It's my Roman Empire, right? That is my personal Roman Empire. I don't think about the Roman Empire the way, that was a whole meme, right? The Roman Empire thing. Do you know about that?
No.
Oh, so there was this thing that went around on the internet like a year ago where it was women asking their boyfriends, what do you think about most of the time? And like, there was this consistency in guys saying, I think about the Roman Empire, right? That it's on their mind all the time. Like, that's all they think about.
I thought it would be sex.
And it was like, but it was such a seemingly a random thing. Like, this is what guys think about all the time. And so there became this meme, like, what is your Roman Empire? What do you think about all the time? And so for me, that's all the lead up to. For me, my Roman Empire is the Camino. And I joke about how I've made it my entire personality. My identity is always rooted in, how can I wrap up the Camino idea into this, right? But there was power in that experience for me, a powerful spiritual unfoldment in that experience for me, which is why it is so prevalent in my mind and my heart, and continues to be, and why I am actually, I'm starting to look at dates now even. So my sister and I are going to go walk for 2 weeks next year. Probably do 8 days of walking, 8 actual days of walking, but 2 weeks away in Spain.
Nice.
But I think about it all the time. Where was I going with this?
What's your Roman Empire?
What's my Roman Empire? But what is it, what is it that brings me to a state of deepening awareness? Part of it is, that is the way that I won't escape to go sit on a mountaintop.
I really want to.
I will go and walk the Camino.
Yeah.
I will go and walk the Camino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful that you've had this experience where you can literally close your eyes and rewalk it. Like,
I can,
because it's so visceral and something, it's something that's so tangible. You've experienced it. With closed eyes, you can return to that space, and that's amazing. So I go and organize in video games. I organize, like, I'm playing my time at Sandrack. I love just smashing rocks and organizing them. I have the capacity to label my storage sheds. I love organization and order so much that if my world is feeling chaotic, at least I can control this little world. Right. So I can get resources. I can help. I'm a good person in Sandrock, and so I'm helping everybody. I'm doing favors. I'm I'm loving my community inside Sandrock, because the world out here right now, I'll get there. I'll get to it. I trust myself to get to it, but I now need to get a palate cleanse so that I can show up as authentic and loving presence for whatever that chaos is in my life.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Can I share something with you?
That's my empire.
Okay.
Or binge watching Love is Blind these days.
I'm going to share with you this screen share. I'm going to add it to the stage now. And this is
your whole walk.
I took all the GPS coordinates from my watch. This is starting at Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port in France. And these are taken from the GPS coordinates from my watch. The entire Camino as I walked it. So I literally can like go in and kind of experience parts of it again by just going to this video that I created this year. Like, this is how obsessed I am with the Camino, right?
Yes.
So this video is 2 hours long. And so if you think that the Camino is 500 miles, this is moving at 250 miles an hour.
Oh my God, I just got the song.
And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500
I just got the song.
more.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Anyway, I just wanted to show you that I literally have found ways to kind of engage with the Camino again.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah. All right. I'm done talking about the Camino, I promise.
I love that the first choice up there to watch next is the rant.
Rant, yeah. No. I have my priorities straight.
Yeah, priorities. Yeah. Yep. I love the rant. I love this. Yeah. And even though like we go off on these strange directions, people are still right here with us. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey everybody.
So what's coming up for you guys? We've been
chatting. I mean, like you and I just got kind of shared personal activities.
Yeah.
I don't really go public with my inner work, but I'm happy to, because we are teaching, we are showing an example of, we're not perfect. No. I'm messy as heck. Yeah. And I'm conscious and aware and loving and working on it. Work in progress.
And I have tools to address the messiness.
I have tools. Yeah. I have tools and resources and practitioners. All these beautiful things.
Yes.
Because my life, oh my God, if this is what messy looks like now, what was that? Right? My 20s. Whoo.
Yeah.
Messy.
Oh yeah.
I'm so glad to be in my late 40s now.
Yes.
I have this patch of white coming in. I have white hairs throughout. And
I'm like,
and people like the fear of aging physically is a thing for people. And for me, I haven't been taken seriously most of my life because I look younger than I am. And that's a thing. So when I started getting white hair, I was like, oh, you are so welcome here. And so I have like this cluster happening over here now. And I'm just like, I love you. I love that you're here. I'm so grateful that you're just going to fill right up in there. And I'm so grateful that I'm aging. Like I have the opportunity to age. You know how many millions of people don't have the opportunity to age? This is sacred. Those laugh lines in my face, having had the life that I've had, and that I have laugh lines is a miracle. It's miraculous that we can still find laughter and joy in some of this messy and sticky stuff, right? It's incredible. So my lines on my forehead and my eyes and the white hairs and, oh my goodness, what a precious thing this life is. Indeed. Be you, boo.
Indeed.
Okay. We've ranted a lot. We've discussed a lot today. How's everybody feeling? I know there's still like 14 people watching us. So how's everybody doing? You feeling stuff? What do you want us to rant about next week? What do you want us to pray up on you for? of like pray up, right? Apt up. We're gonna apt it up.
Apt it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you like and go with affirmative prayer treatment. I sometimes call it prayer meditation.
Yeah.
I really feel like for me, that's kind of what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And because I'm a meditation facilitator, a lot, like that's meditation facilitation.
Mhm.
My prayer just kind of sounds like that and feels like that I'm just meditating on something, and whatever's coming out of me is spirit. It's
Mhm.
not Steph. So I love that. But I love the idea of affirmative prayer treatment. I love the sense of the word treatment because we are treating for something.
Right.
And
Treatment for me is an active thing where
yeah.
sometimes I think prayer is more passive. And that's kind of the way that it's taught in Unity.
Mm,
Even though I would say prayer is active, meditation is a more passive
yeah,
experience. And
absolutely.
there's no like I don't say one is better than the other.
No, it's just preference. Who uses what?
Yeah, but even Charles Fillmore, one of the co-founders of Unity with his wife Myrtle, he defined treatment. And I always like to go to this because, I think sometimes we forget that it is a shared word between the New Thought philosophies. And in this, he wrote, a treatment is a prayer of faith and understanding for healing, harmony, wisdom, prosperity, or any other good desired. Its object is to raise the consciousness of the one being treated to a high spiritual consciousness through which healing is accomplished.
Yes.
Right? We don't differentiate, and even when I talk about the difference between Unity and science of mind and divine science and the various New Thought philosophies, we talk about the differences not being in the philosophy, but being in the jargon that we use. Well, there was shared jargon too. And so let's acknowledge and honor that.
Yeah. Yeah. The activity. Yeah.
Yeah.
And treat and move your feet.
Treat and move your feet.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But don't move your feet absent the impulse that arises from the treatment. That's what I always say. Because they're not separate things.
They're not separate things.
The treatment impels action for me.
Yeah. Yeah. In the direction of an answered prayer.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so let's just say hello to Andy. Grateful. Lovely to see you as well, Andy. And Lillian, you're showing that you all love what you're doing. It is true. This is one of the things I look forward to every single week, Steph.
Yeah.
I hope you know that.
Yeah.
And the lesson is, if you love what you do, it doesn't matter what others think. That's right.
That's
do
right.
What you love and love what you do.
Do what you love.
That's a great lesson that I think I'm going to invite us all to leave with today. Do what you love and love what you do.
Do what you love and love what you do. Follow your bliss.
That's right. Yeah. So we'll be back next week, right?
We'll be back next week. Full of vim and vigor.
As we always are.
As we always are. Yeah. And of course, filled with radically affirmative new thoughts.
Indeed. Yes. Yeah. Anything you want to promote? Anything going on for you that
I'm just trying to get my ducks in a row and my eggs in cartons, and so I know good things are coming for sure. But yeah. I have been distracted from my own personal ministry, and I'm looking forward to getting back into that and that being my focus, because that's what I love. I love my ministry, and I, bumping up and messing, and but I know it's finalizing right here and right now.
Yeah,
I get to do what I love and love what I do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening at Unity. We have our gala coming up. The ticket sales are closed for that, so I shouldn't really promote that now. But one of the things I want to let people start being aware of is the night before Thanksgiving in the US, because I always have to differentiate because you're in Canada, so you have a different Thanksgiving than I do.
Yeah.
The night before Thanksgiving in the US, I'm just looking past to my calendar on my wall, which is Wednesday, November 27th. I'm actually in the process of working on a shared service, a shared gratitude service between Center for Spiritual Living and Unity of Tucson. We're going to join together to have a joint service, a gratitude service on the night before Thanksgiving. Most likely it will start around 6:30, and we would love to have you join us in person for sure. It most likely will be online as well, but just to give you a heads up,
That's wonderful.
And come join Rev Ronnie and me, and we're going to celebrate gratitude.
Yeah.
Gratitude is the fuel in the engine of creation.
Absolutely.
Gratitude is one of my favorite things to express and experience.
I love gratitude and appreciation, and I it's so easy for me to appreciate others, and I love gratitude so much.
Yeah.
So much. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you. I'm so grateful for our connection, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah. See you all next week.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Make your day magnificent. No, you are magnificent. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Bye.